If your trading year isn't off to the best start, that's okay. You're not alone. I've been there so many times. And in this video, I'm going to discuss my journey, and I'm also going to discuss ways to kind of flip the switch and make sure that maybe if Q1 wasn't your way, Q2 can be. So make sure you stick around from the beginning into the end. I'm going to share a lot of reflections, and I'm going to talk about key points that you can do to implement into your trading to make sure that if you didn't have the best quarter of your trading career, that you can quickly come around and make sure Q2 is. Now, maybe you're watching this video and you had a Q1 that was great. Myself, I had an amazing start to the year. I'm super, super grateful and blessed. But just because I had a great one doesn't mean someone else did, right? So that's why I'm going to come on here and talk about the old Mac that struggled year after year, especially when January came around into February, into March. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. So I don't know if I'm the only one. I guarantee you I'm not. But we go into January with such high expectations for ourselves, for our trading year. And I think a big part of it that comes from, it's the holidays in December. We're taking some time off from the markets. At least I did. I would usually take about 2 weeks off the markets. And I would just sit and plan. And when you're sitting and planning, you're planning big. So I'd be like, I want to have this funding, I want to have this amount of money, I want to make this amount of money in Q1 and all this stuff, right? You're drawing out the nearest Lamborghini dealership, maybe you're checking out the Ferrari dealership in case that one's closed the day you go to take a look. You're prepping, right? And it's very, very exciting. And the dopamine is being released in our brains where we're just so fired up. Maybe we're telling our friends, maybe we're telling our significant other about everything we're going to achieve in January. And then January comes along, first couple of weeks of the year come along, and maybe you just simply didn't do what you wanted to do. Then that trickles into February. Then that trickles into March. And next thing you know, it's been slow for you. Or maybe you're in drawdown, right? You didn't achieve the things you wanted to achieve. And let me tell you, there's going to be a combination of multiple things. You either had a poor Q1 because you were trading without a trading plan, you were just trading just based on emotion, just showing up, you weren't doing the work. The other is you were simply sticking to your trading plan and your setups just didn't work. This has happened to me before where I took A+ setups to start the year and it didn't work and I finished Q1 negative. That's happened to me before. And if you're in that situation, that's completely fine because that right there is trading. There's a lot going on to start the year. Trump coming in, the tariff talks, markets are very, very not certain, right? Markets like certainty. So they're very, very uncertain right now. And that's why we're getting sporadic moves. Maybe we're not trending, we're heading in one direction, and then we're consolidating. It can be very, very difficult for a lot of strategies. I understand that. So if you're in the boat right now where you didn't have the best Q1 because you stuck to your plan, then that is okay. Okay? That is okay. Market conditions aren't always going to be as perfect as we pray or as we manifest in January, right? When we, like I said in a later video, when we are planning our year, we're planning the most perfect year ever, right? We don't like to imagine anything wrong happening, or maybe we go through a losing streak here. We're not sitting there thinking, okay, in April or something, I'm going to go through a 4-trade losing streak. No, you're just thinking about the goals and you're thinking about the outcome. And you're not thinking about what can happen on the way there. And anything can happen on the way there. You can have a winning streak, you can have a losing streak, but at the end of the day, your performance over the year is what matters. I like to think in quarters, so I had a great quarter myself. I like to think in months. I don't like to think on a day-to-day basis. That's how I used to think as a trader, and believe me, if you start to think long-term, you start to think in quarters, you're going to set yourself up for a lot of success because you're not going to get too high when you have a great week, and you're not going to get too low when you have a bad week because there's more to come. So what I'm going to talk about is what I personally do. I'm going to talk about it for the people who didn't have the best Q1, and I'm going to talk about it for the people who maybe are like myself and had a great Q1. It's the exact same process. So I hope that you are someone that journals your trades watching these videos. I hope you've watched enough Mac videos to know, what, he mentions backtesting and journaling all the time. I should probably do that. What I want you to do before we head into this Q2 is review the trades you took. I want you to go through whatever platform you use and go over the trades that you took. I want you to go over all the wins. I want you to go over all the losses and find the common similarities between them, because it's pretty simple. If we don't know we are making a mistake, how on earth are we supposed to fix that mistake? I fell trapped to this for years in my trading where I would make the same mistake over and over and over again. But because I wasn't journaling, because I wasn't reviewing my journal, that's a key part too. Put a pin in that. A lot of us go through the motions. A lot of us journal, but we never go back to look at it. And I was very guilty of this, where first of all, I used to not journal at all. And then when I did start journaling, I'd never go back and read the journal. So you're essentially like going through the motions. You're doing all this work, but there's no value from it because you're not reviewing it and you're not learning from it. You have to go over it. It's like you're studying for an exam. You don't just read your notes. You don't just write the notes for the exam and then never read them. You got to read them. You got to learn. You got to sponge. You got to take in the information, right? So please go through all the things you went right, all the things you went wrong, and try and figure out what you are doing consistently right and what you're doing consistently wrong. Lean into what you were doing right as this new quarter starts, and then maybe get rid of some of the bad habits that you're realizing that you're picking up heading into this Q2. Now, if you're someone who didn't journal your trades at all and you unfortunately did not have the best quarter, then I apologize. There isn't a ton of advice here for you other than please, from this moment forward, start doing that. Because I promise you, it can change everything. Like I went through a losing streak in November, swing trading. I think I lost like 5 trades or 6 trades in a row. And I was like, what is going on here? I went for a walk. This is a true story. I have the voice note. Maybe I'll share it one day. I went for a walk and I talked to myself on a voice note. And I just was like venting to myself while I was out on this cold winter walk. And out of nowhere, an idea came to me. I was like, okay, you must be doing something wrong here. Go look at your journal. And I just wasn't looking at my journal for that month while I was going through this losing streak. Don't ask me why, I'm not sure. But I went through and I figured out what it was. And then I went to go on my biggest winning streak ever, where I lost 1 trade from December until end of February. And it was crazy because of the adjustments that I made. And if I never would have went back and looked, who knows, I probably realistically would have been making the same mistake. So it's crazy how if you just simply fix the little things, it's most of the time it's not some crazy thing. You don't have to go crazy with it, but it's going to be something little. It could be little as, okay, according to my data, if I'm taking trades before New York session, I lose the trade. Or maybe you have a better London session than New York session and you're losing all your New York session trades. Maybe you have a bad London session and you win all your New York trades. Remove what's not working, or remove what's not working as well and go full on to what is working. Maybe you have multiple different entry models. Maybe you have an A plus setup, an A setup, a B setup, a C plus, a Z plus setup, a Z minus, you know what I mean, all the way down. But if you simply just look at your data and see, okay, this setup right here is my best setup. I have a setup called the ROL model. It's my best setup, hands down my best setup. And I used to trade it with another setup. But for me personally and how I view the markets, I realized, according to my data here, my ROL model is the best one for me. It performs the best for me. It has the highest success rate. I've made the most money with it this year. So I just essentially leaned into it. And I'm just waiting for that setup. Maybe it's a certain pair that you have that's really, really working for you. Maybe you're trading a pair throughout this quarter and it's not following your strategy, but maybe 3 other pairs do. It's making little adjustments like this that can really take you to the next level in your trading. It's amazing what can happen if you just audit what the heck is going on. So that's the one part. Let me take a minute to introduce to you one of the top new prop firms in the industry, Think Capital. Think Markets, a fully regulated broker, has entered the prop space. With over 15 years of broker experience, this is massive for us traders. With up to $600K in capital to manage, $5K to $300K accounts, it gives us the perfect resources to succeed. Another bonus is they offer to USA clients, which is massive for you US traders. Use the link in the description and code RMTrading for 15% off any challenge. Let's get back to the video. The other part is I want you to journal, not type. I want you to journal. You can go grab a piece of paper. I want you to write out what went right this quarter and what went wrong from an emotional standpoint. So I want you to go over the things you did well and the things you did wrong, not just on here, but in your overall life in this past quarter. Maybe you've been friggin' lazy off the charts. You've probably been lazy on the charts. It's very, very correlated, okay? So I want you to write out everything that went well, everything that went wrong. And it's amazing what pen and paper, putting your ideas to pen and paper can do. For me, it's amazing. I journal. I'm not going to share this, but I journal every single morning. And it's not just what you're grateful for and all that stuff and manifesting. It's like getting your thoughts out onto paper is huge, guys. I can't explain how much this has helped transform not just my trading, but my life. By writing this out, you are going to get everything out and prep yourself for the best Q2 that you can possibly have. Because wouldn't it be the worst thing ever if Q2 comes around, you make the same habits, the same bad habits as you did in Q1, and you're at the same spot for Q3? Like, wouldn't that scare you? I heard a quote saying, if you continue to do what you shouldn't be doing, a year from now you will be in the exact same spot or worse. Doesn't that scare you to come to the end of 2025 and be in the exact same spot? Financially, mentally, maybe physically. That frightens me. And I hope it frightens you. If that frightens you, smash this like button, hit subscribe if you're new, guys. I appreciate you all so much. Drop a comment, spread some love in there. We're not done the video, but I just wanted to throw that in there because you guys love these little sit down videos where I just chat. I know you guys watching these videos, by the way, love to ignore my technical videos. So please show some love on those too. I appreciate it. There's always something you can learn from there. But yeah, by doing the work, by doing the journaling, reviewing the journal, and then journaling, you are going to be a whole new person for this Q2. And if you've had a great Q2, maybe you're like myself and you've had a great Q2, then focus on what you've done right and just keep that momentum going forward. And don't let a high Q1 inflate your brain, inflate your head for Q2. The worst thing you can do is go into Q2 expecting to have another amazing Q2 because you just had an amazing Q1. So much can change. What I like to do is go into it like it's a very clean slate. Each month for me is a fresh page. Each day for me is a fresh page. Each week. You have to have short-term memory with these markets. Not just when things are going right, but when things are going wrong too. Having a short-term memory is huge because you're not going to get hung up on, you're not going to have a big ego when you have a winning week. You're not going to have a very, very sad demeanor if you have a losing week. And it's doing all these little things that add up and take your trading to the next level. I'm telling you this from personal experience. I had an awesome Q1. I have some big goals for the rest of this year that I know I'm going to achieve because I am doing everything I need to do on and off the charts. I have never been, seriously guys, real talk, I have never been this focused. Like, I'm sure you can tell, I deleted Instagram in November. Like, I deleted all these things that were distracting me just to focus on my craft. Like, it's paid me back so much, and I'm so grateful that I did. I've had to step away from hanging out with my friends all the time. I had to put myself in a state of mind that screams, I want success, and I want to reach my potential, and I want to be the best that I can be. You can't be the best you can be if you're constantly distracting yourself. If you're focused on growing social media, like, it's funny looking back at it. I was trying to grow social media at the same time as I was trying to reach these trading goals. Like, it's just silly because it's like such split focus. I'm not saying that you can't do it, but for your boy, it just simply wasn't working out. And I see it with a lot of people as well. If you just simply focus on trading, you will become a better trader. Focus on the other stuff after, And yeah, you may be sitting there going, oh, you're on YouTube. I love YouTube because I'm able to teach people. I'm able to help people here for free. I'm able to build relationships with you guys in the comment section. And I'm able to document my journey so that it can help you. And I can also look back at it. This last week or so, maybe the last 2 weeks, I went back and looked at my very old videos. If you guys haven't done that yet, you should. Go to my channel, click oldest video, and you can see the progression. You can see the sit down videos then and the talks when I wasn't getting a lot of views at all. And it's cool because it's like the same person. I'm just in a different situation now. But I still knew that I would do great things. And when you get distracted, I'm telling you right now, it can make you stagnant. because I find our brains only have so much bandwidth. If you're trying to trade, but you're also on Discord, you're also on Instagram, you're also on YouTube, you're also on TikTok, like how much bandwidth do you think you have free to go and make a decision when that involves money? You know what I mean? Like, sorry for going out on this tangent, but these are all things that are going to help you have a successful 2025, help you get over this poor Q1 or maybe an amazing Q1 and give you the momentum to have an amazing Q2. So focus, go over the journal, go over review your trades that you took this year, journal everything that went right, everything that went wrong from a mental standpoint in life, not just on your charts, okay? There's always something that we can learn. And I promise you, you are going to be commenting on this video or future videos saying, Mac, I listened to you and I had the best Q2 of my life. Or maybe it's your first Q2. I had an amazing quarter in general, okay? So you got this. I believe in you. Smash that like button like I said. I love when you guys comment as well because I read every single comment. You guys know I respond to every single comment as well, so appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. So many of you watch these videos and you don't subscribe. And give some attention to the technical videos. I'm telling you there's something you can learn in there, right? I'm going to quit whining about it. What do I say at the end of every single video? Let's be 1% better every single day.